Abuja, welcome to day 4 of I Beg to Differ Season 2. And yes, we are getting to wrap up the playoffs, the round of 32. And has it been since Monday? Well, you can share that with us on X at Nigeria Info Abuja, your opinion of the debate from start to finish, like we mentioned yesterday. By Monday, we'll get opinion polls also on how you think and who you think, having listened to all of them in the round of 32, the playoffs, who you think it's capable of bagging the money at the end of the day and representing Abuja in Lagos. But I'm in too much of a hurry, because there's so much to come. The round of 16, the quarterfinals, and all whatnot has to come. But welcome to day 4 of I Beg to Differ, and it is proudly supported by Hamzat Lawal, CEO, Connected Development, and founder, Follow the Money, a Malala Fund Education champion working to ensure that the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria is reduced significantly. We also have as our partner 313 Bureau de Change, and there'll be others also, like Happiness Computers, saying that we have consolation prizes to give out to our debaters, and Caller Angel Nigeria Limited, Collier Angel, actually, everything phones, accessories, sundries, and IT gadgets in Banex Abuja here have also joined us. And we have ensuring that our debaters stay refreshed before they come into the studio. We have our partner, Creative Fingers Cakes and Bite, to ensure that they get the pastries and all whatnot to nibble on just before they get here. And I hope they are refreshed and ready to go today. Judges are already seated in, what do we call the room where they are, I told you at this point in time?
The green room.
The green room? Mm-hmm. All right, they're in the green room then. We have our Chief Judge, Majid Dahiru, is a researcher, columnist, tech team leader of Luke Terra Leadership Foundation. We have Irene Bangwell, the co-founder of NOSC, 100 Naira a day school in Kuje. It is actually a school for indigent children to ensure they get an education. We have Fidel Castro in the house as our judge, also just ready to score away. And joining us in the studio is our diction judge. No, not Jubilant. We have a new diction judge. We have Olivia Osai, who will be our diction judge today. So the stage is set, and our team, like Somi, Sahel, Benga, apparently are all set for the day. My name is Kimberly.
And I'm the Deacon. My name is Itodo. I will be the what's that again? Accurate timekeeper? That's it?
Yep. So what are we looking at today?
We'll be looking at government should remove age restrictions for university admission. And we have our debaters right here. CHIKEZIE Onyinyechukwu Paula from the Government Science Secondary School Piakasa in Maitama, she's 15, as well as Victor Great TERSOO, who is 14, from the Government Science Secondary School Tunganmaje.
All right, and so our debaters have been seated. They've been just staring into space, and I'm a little curious what they have on their mind. But I feel like if I ask them, it would take away all their points from their mind. So I probably will ask after the debate, so I don't come with my silly questions and confuse you, yeah? I see that on their face, business-like. Okay.
All right, so here are the rules. You'll be giving your angles in the paper. You pick one. And whatever angle you pick is where you debate from for today. And that's pretty much it. You have time allotted to you. The bell will start. You give your thoughts. Remember to breathe so we can hear you clearly and make sense of what you're saying. Once the bell goes off, you have to stop and listen to the instructions that will follow. All right?
So you have your 3 minutes each for your presentation. The person who supports the motion will start off first, and the person who begs to differ will go next. You get another 3 minutes for your rebuttal. Now, the person who supports the motion would go next. So it's one person to the next. All right? And then you get 3 minutes for your closing, to give your closing remark. And then we'll leave it to the judges. If by some chance the result comes as a tie, we'll give you another 3 minutes each to convince the judges that we need to have just one winner and not two, because we can't do two. So even if it's a half mark like happened yesterday, someone needs to leave and get to the round of 16. Are you ready? Are you good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right then. So, government should remove age restriction for university admission. Who supports the motion?
So I'll go around and give you the paper, and you can decide on which or who's going first.
All right, so you let us know. And just so you know, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and follow the update on X. Facebook is at Nigeria Info ABJ. Aware Modupe, we see you on YouTube. It says, ride on. You're already riding on somebody. They've not even debated yet. How do you know it's good? I'm not going to mention the name of the person you're riding on right now, okay? Joseph Aderemi, we see you also. Apparently, one of the debaters' their fans are already seated pretty on YouTube. So it's at Nigeria Info Abuja on Facebook and at Nigeria Info Abuja on YouTube. On X, we're at Nigeria Info Abuja. So, government should remove age restriction for university admission. Who supports the motion?
I support the motion.
And you are?
I beg to differ.
All right, so Paula supports. CHIKEZIE Onyinyechukwu Paula
Yes, ma'am.
from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitanama, supports the motion.
Yes, ma'am.
Victor Great TERSOO from Government Science Secondary School, Tsunga Maje, begs to differ.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Paula, we'll start all the rounds with you then.
And your time starts now.
In Nigeria, countless bride minds are sidelined by a cake jam age restrictions. Is it fair to deny higher access education simply because of age? Why dismiss proven potential and maturity simply because a person or a candidate doesn't fit into the useful mode? With this, I bring my pleasantries to the esteemed judges, distinguished timekeeper, respected co-debater, ladies and gentlemen. I am CHIKEZIE Onyinyechukwu Paula, a student of Government Science Secondary School, Maitama, and I stand in firm support of the topic of the motion that the government should remove age restrictions for university admission. Having set the stage, for more detailed explanation, let's delve into the crux of this discourse. First and foremost, reflecting modern career realities. In dynamic job markets, career pivots and continuous off-clean are the norm. In leading institutions in the UK and US employ flexible admission policies. For mature learners, Nigerians must break free from the outdated JAMB barriers in order to meet the modern workforce demands. Secondly, driving economic growth. Expanding university access regardless of age creates a more versatile and skilled workforce. Countries like Canada and Australia demonstrate that adult learning drives and brings and fosters long-term economic benefits. Therefore, Nigeria can tap into this knowledge. Moving on, unlocking untapped talents. Many countless bright minds in Nigeria are sidelined or are being restricted because of their age limits. As in India's Indira Gandhi's National Open University creates access for mature learners, Nigeria can tap into a reservoir of knowledge and wisdom with this opportunity. Moving on, fostering lifelong learning. Nigeria can foster lifelong learning by removal of age barriers. It helps create continuous learning. Global model shows that societies have the ability to benefit from a culture of innovation and success when every individual can get access to education at every stage of life. Moving on, supporting non-traditional careers. The modern economy demands flexibility. In countries like the US, mature learners return back to school in order to get their MBAs or tech certificates, thereby proving that non-traditional educational journeys will help to create more adaptive professionals. In continuation, enhancing social inclusion. By having a classroom with diverse age limits, you are enhancing social inclusion by creating a more dynamic environment for every individual, thereby making learning more effective. Moving on to my next point, reducing stigmas and stereotypes. Harmful stigmas and stereotypes are being reinforced because of the age restrictions. By removing this, you are removing the stigmas as well as removing the stigmatizations that the older people face. And lastly, fostering innovation through diverse perspectives. In our country today, when classrooms have a mix of diverse ages with different perspectives, it fosters and creates a spark of creative innovation and problem-solving skills, thereby helping them create a more dynamic learning environment. Those countries, thank you.
All right. CHIKEZIE Onyinyechukwu Paula there just gave us her opening presentation, and it's time for us to find out from her opponent, Victor Great TERSOO.
Your time starts now.
I'll begin with a quote by Aristotle. education is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor and learned and attempted to with diligence. Good morning, the chairman. Good afternoon, the chairman, panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, listeners, and viewers. My name is Victor Great TERSOO. I'm a prominent student from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaji, and I'm here to oppose the motion which states that the government should remove age restriction from university admission. We all know the academic society where we are today, where all students have high intellectual skills and are willing to succeed in life. We need to know how the students how to go into the university, but this university won't allow students who are of underage to enter the university. So I agree with the university that they should not remove this age restriction. Below are the following points of mine why the government should not remove the age restriction from the university. Firstly, increase on demand resources. If this age restriction should be removed, it will lay a big pressure on the university staffs, infrastructure, and resources, whereby putting a high demand on the resources of the university, where the students will not be able to learn because of the large number of the students. Also, potentially overcrowding. This university might be overcrowded with the students, whereby making them to be half-baked. That is, they will be in school and yet still be an educated, illiterate student. My pardon, please. I go on with my point. Maturity and readiness. This young student might not be mature and ready to go into the outside world. So why do we force them to go into the outside world? They need to wait until they become of age before they can go into the outside world. So they have to be mature and ready to go into the outside world and start their universities. Also, better time management. The younger students, of course, don't know how to manage their time because they are just going into the outside world newly. So the older students will know how to manage their time better than the younger students. So why do we force the younger students to go into the outside world? Because they don't even know how to manage their time. So it will just be like a waste of time, waste of resources, and waste of demand. Also, decrease independence. These students don't even know how to depend on themselves without a guide from their parents or guidance. So if they go into this outside world, what do you think they will go and do there? If they can't have independence, will they go and join peer pressures? Will they go and join a negative peer that is leading them into a very disastrous end? So why do we have to force them to go into these universities when they have no independence on their own without their parents or guardian? In conclusion, early exposure to the outside world. These younger students will be exposed early to the outside world. So of what use will it be for them to go out to the outside world and yet still have no dependence on themselves? Thank you.
All right, Victor Great TERSOO there, and he's giving us his opening 3-minute each. We'll now give them some time and get to the rebuttal. The rebuttal phase will also be 3 minutes each, and you are to take on argument presented by your opponent. The judges will be listening on how much of it you caught anyway. So, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
And your time starts now.
Still standing in existing protocol, I am CHIKEZIE ONYINYECHUKWU PAULA from Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. My opponent made mention of the large number of students in schools. Well, I want to let you know that universities have particular limited number of people that they give access or grant access into universities. So that cannot be an issue, or that cannot be a point. Moving on, maturity and readiness. Well, age is just a number. I want to let you know. I want you to know that age is just a number, that it does not depend on how old you are. Maturity comes from your mindset, comes from the environment you are brought with. Even an older person can even be less mature than a young person. My opponent also made mention of better time management. I want to let you know that younger individuals can also manage their time. It doesn't matter whether you are older or you are younger. As far as you have gone through secondary school experience, you can be able to manage your time effectively. Moving on, my opponent made mention of dependence on parents. Well, I want to let you know that the secondary school creates an avenue for getting independence. So you cannot tell me that younger students cannot be able to cater for themselves, because in Nigeria today, many people that are 14, that are 15 in universities are still surviving, and they are even surviving more than the older students. Moving on, my My opponent made mention of exposure at an early stage. Well, exposure at an early stage is not a crime. It's a good one because it fosters national development. It fosters inclusivity. It fosters societal progress. So that can never be an issue, or that can never retard children from gaining access to education at an early age. Moving on, you are diminishing people's potential by removing age barriers, by not removing age barriers. When government removes age restrictions in university admission, they are unlocking untapped talents in individuals. They are making people to unleash their full potentials, and they are making them to then, and they are avoiding brain drain from them. Thank you very much.
All right, that is CHIKEZIE ONYINYECHUKWU Paula, 15 from Government Science Secondary School, Pierre Casa Maitama, with her rebuttal. Would now turn to Victor Great TERSOO.
And your time starts now.
All protocols duly observed. I remain Victor Great TERSOO. I begin my rebuttal stage by answering her question. She said that age is just a number. How do you know that age is just a number? Don't you know that the age of a person determines the intellectual skills or the IQ of that person? Go on my research, I discovered that 22% of the people in the university are over 30 years. So how does that inquire to the topic that said the government should remove age restriction? Of course, the government should not remove this age restriction. With the following point. I continue my point. Economic growth. How do you made mention of economic growth? How this early exposure of young students to the outside world boosts the economic growth? Don't you know that the younger they are determines the IQ of the students? Don't you know that if they go out to the outside world so early, it will deplete many of their potential? You made mention of the untapped potential. If the untapped potential of the students, how do you know exposing them to the outside world will help know the untapped potential of the student? Do you even know if they have any untapped potential in them? Do you know how serious they will be if they go to the secondary school? Because when they have no parents and guidance to watch over them, they will fall astray and go in any wayward way in this university. Don't you know that many students have gone into cultism because of this young age, because of no awareness in them, because they are too young? Even if there is an awareness in them, they will still go astray because their mind is not yet matured for them to determine their skills. Haven't you heard of cultism in the university? Go and search on this cultism in the university. You discover that almost 70% of these cultists in the university are of a young age. Why? Because they are not matured enough to take their steps in this. To take their steps in the university. You talked about the age of this person. We don't know that when the age of this person determines how much they will be able to stay in that school. Don't know that most of them end up in rustification, expel, and many other different things as you can mention them. So how do you know that this age of this student we end up giving them an untapped potential that you made mention of? So I disagree with you that the government should remove this age restriction. Thank you.
All right, then. We have heard their rebuttal. They've taken out their opponent's argument. We'll now give them time to give us their closing remark. By closing remark, I mean your closing presentation. So anything you left out in the opening or the rebuttal, you got the opportunity to put it forward right now for the judges to work with. So we would go back to Paula Onyinyechukwu CHIKEZIE. Over to you.
And your time starts now.
Still standing on existing protocol, I am CHIKEZIE ONYINYECHUKWU PAULA from Government Science Secondary School, Maitama. My opponent made mention of age being just a number. Like I said, you said that age being just a number determines intellectual capacity of the students. Well, I want to let you know that it doesn't determine intellectual capacity of the students, because students can actually learn and experience from different environments they are in. So you cannot tell me that age is just enough, that age determines their intellectual capacity. Even their brilliance, it doesn't determine that. It doesn't determine that. As a student A student can be very intelligent, not because of their age, but because of their experience and because of how serious they're going to be. My opponent also made mention of courtism being practiced by the younger students. Well, I want to let you know that courtism is not being practiced by the younger students, because the research I made, courtism is not being practiced by the younger students. It is about awareness. Courtism is not about the age. It's about your awareness. It's about how aware an individual is on courtism, not about your age, or not, because even if you are younger, it doesn't mean that you are gullible to certain things. So it's not about age. So conclusively, I'd like to conclude that education is a right, and every individual must be given this access to education. Education is a lifelong learning, is a lifelong journey that fosters inclusivity, social cohesion, and many other things. As the world is rapidly evolving, the industries also evolve, and they need new skills. They need new skills to be adapted in order to evolve with it. So, in conclusion, as Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Well, I want to let you know that this education, which is the weapon and the tool, when it is not denied access for every age, this weapon can be used to change the world, can be used to create and foster national development amongst all. Before I conclude, I want to leave my opponents with this quote: a university is not the place for the privileged, it's the place for the willing. Thank you very much.
All right, wrapped up with a quote there, and we'll get to find out what Victor TERSOO has to say in his closing.
Victor, your time starts now.
Okay, all protocols duly observed. I begin my conclusion with the quote by Aristotle: "The root of education is bitter, but the fruit of it is sweet." In conclusion, I stand my ground irrevocably to say that the government should not remove this age restriction from university admission. Did you know that if this age restriction is being removed, it will deplete the intergenerational learning? Because when students of various ages and backgrounds and experiences come into the universities, it will in a big way deplete the intergenerational learning and understanding of this school. Also deplete the university standard. When students of various ages, backgrounds and experiences enter into this university, do you know that the university standards will reduce, leaving them at a very low disadvantage? So when the students of various ages, backgrounds and experiences stepped into the university names will go down because they are of a low standard, applying or bringing into their university students of different diverse backgrounds, diverse ages and diverse experiences into their university. In conclusion, I would like to tell you, for our nation to have a brighter future, this age restriction should remain in place. So I would like to ask you this question, although you don't have any chance to speak again. What type of future do you want for our nation to get? It is dependent on the age restriction which is being given to the university admission. Thank you.
All right, you had the great man there, Victor Great TERSOO, with his closing. At that point, they took on the motion schools should remove age restriction for university admission. So while the judges are putting numbers together, we've got our diction judge with us, Olivia.
Well, great debate there. Very compelling one, I must say. Well done to both debaters. Well done, Onyinyechi, and well done, Victor. So, Victor, I'm going to start with you. You had excellent debate there, a very excellent point. However, your words were mumbled in most cases, and you mispronounced some words. Some of those words, you have words like younger children, where you repeated that word over and over again. So you may want to work on your vocabulary and also your pronunciation as well. You mumbled on some words and your pronunciation. Overall, I'll say that you didn't do too bad, okay? And for Onyinye, you had words like countries, for instance. That word is country and not country. Words like number, okay? And words like aware, where you kept saying aware. The word weapon, is another word that you want to work on the pronunciation. And then the word education, okay? So that word is education and not education. Overall, your points were quite compelling. Thank you so much. Well done.
All right, so we've heard from our diction judge who's joining us for the first time today. And I saw the way she was just going from one debater to the other, like, oh boy. But don't worry.
But I have a question though. And so for a word that was mentioned consistently, is it deplete or deplete?
That
He kept saying
word,
deplete.
I think he was trying to say deplete or diminish. So you kept saying deplete, Victor.
There's no such word as deplete, is there?
Deplete. There's no such word. There's no such word as deplete. So it's either you're saying diminish or deplete. So which one was it?
Diminish.
Diminish. Okay.
Oh, so you didn't even catch it.
Oh, I
Because-
did catch it
oh.
here.
All right then.
Forgot to mention.
So yeah, our return officer is here.
Already?
Yep.
Impressive.
They joke
Keeping
not.
to time as always. Thank
It's
you
the
very
playoffs,
much.
so it's a no-nonsense stage at this point in time. So, from the green room, signed by the Chief Judge, Majid Dahiru, we have the results, the outcome of the debaters today, who took on a motion, government should remove age restriction for university admission. Victor TERSOO and CHIKEZIE Paula. Who supported the motion? Okay, so we'll start with you then. CHIKEZIE ONYINYECHUKWU Paula, 15 from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama, supported the motion. In her presentation, she got 3.5. In her rebuttal, she got a 9. In the closing, she got an 8. Her style earned her 17, and in total, she got 37.5. Victor TERSOO back to differ during the course of the debate, and he is 14-year-old from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaje. In his opening presentation, he got 6.5. In his rebuttal, 3.5. His closing got him 3 points, and his style, 11. In total, you got 24. So with the total aggregate, it means that CHIKEZIE Paula gets to the round of 16. Congratulations to you. And Victor TERSOO, well, apparently it's the playoffs and you're off the game for now. However, you're 14, so brace yourself. There's always season 3 coming.
Yeah, we'll look forward to having you back here again next year. Well done. Made some great points right there. And both of you were pretty impressive. So we'll look forward to having you back here again, in the future. All right?
All right, so there we have it with the first set of debater. CHIKEZIE Paula from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa, Maitama, gets to the round of 16. Congratulations. And let's look at 2 comments quickly while...
All right. Let's get to this one right here. It was not a question. Well done. Well spoken is what our Raphael says. Good comeback, Maitama. Something that you said sort of, rattled some people. I hear. Go favor is what Aduke Ibadan says. Right on, Paula. Pretty much that's what I've got right here.
And I see here, anticipating today's debate and rooting for my student, GGSS Tungamaje. JJ from GGSS Tungamaje. All right. And I be feeling like, but you still have other students coming on, so we'll see how they perform. So thank you very much to our debaters for the first set. Congratulations to those who emerged, like CHIKEZIE Paula, and to our great man, Victor. I'm sure we'll see you next time. All right, so from our judges, Majid Dahiru, Irene Bangwell, Fidel Castro, and the diction judge, Olivia. And a special thank you to our sponsors, Hamzat Lawal, founder, Connected Development, and Follow the Money. 313 Bureau de Change for always being there for us. And then we have Happiness Computers, ensuring that we get some interesting consolation prizes to hand out. And also Polia Angel.
And Creative Fingers, Cakes, and Buys, keeping us, stuffed right here.
Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. So thank you to all of them. And we'll take a quick break, and the next set of debaters will jump into the studio. So please don't go away.
Can I have your attention, please? The news, information, and the right conversation are here on Nigeria Info.
How many this type of wicked attack has affected in the other part of this country? So that's what this is for ourselves.
I'm not supporting stealing, but these politicians need to be taught a lesson.
Your number one station for talk, Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.